Hello, Divine One. Welcome back to week 2, where we are jumping into the continuing conversation about transformative steps to becoming a more self-empowered woman. Now, you recently heard steps 1 and 2. And as a reminder, I'll share those steps with you as we continue on this journey. The first step to becoming a self-empowered woman is a woman who develops the embodiment of resilience, determination, and has a relentless pursuit of growth amidst life's challenges. The second step to becoming a more self-empowered woman is one who firmly rejects the role of victim in her life's narrative. She recognizes that she has the power to respond to difficult situations in a positive and proactive manner without taking on the role of victim. And so now we're going to jump into step number 3. A self-empowered woman recognizes the power of collaboration and understands that seeking support and guidance from others is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength. She embraces the idea that she doesn't have to navigate life challenges alone and actively cultivates a network of positive influences, mentors, and friends who contribute to her growth and well-being. She values the wisdom and experience that mentors bring to the table, knowing that they can provide valuable insights, advice, and encouragement. These mentors help her to see new perspectives and possibilities, allowing her to make informed decisions and face obstacles with resilience and not alone. Furthermore, this self-empowered woman understands that personal growth is a lifelong journey. And so she eagerly seeks ways to expand her knowledge and skills. My girl, this woman here, she reads books, she attends workshops, and enrolls in courses like this one, More of Me, to continuously broaden her horizons. This thirst for knowledge not only enriches her mind, but also empowers her with the tools and information she needs to navigate life complexities more confidently. Through her commitment to personal growth, she develops a deep sense of self-awareness, recognizing her strengths and areas for improvement. You see, this introspective approach helps her overcome self-doubt. And what it does is gradually build a strong foundation of self-confidence. She becomes more in tune with her passions and her purpose, and she begins to align her actions with what really matters to her, with her core values. As you reflect on what I just shared with you, what's coming up for you? How are you doing as it relates to being a self-empowered woman who appreciates and recognizes the importance of collaboration and understands how powerful it is to have guidance and to have support and to have a village around her? How is that feeling for you? What's coming up for you? How has your perception of seeking support and guidance from others evolved after hearing about the self-empowered woman's perspective on collaboration? Divine One, are there areas in your life where you could benefit from embracing this concept more with the perspective of strength when it comes to seeking help? Do you possibly have some blind spots in this area when it comes to collaboration, especially collaboration with other women? Take down your notes, reflect on this question, go deep within, as I always say, and be honorable to all the emotions that are coming up for you right now. Be gentle with yourself, show yourself compassion, and do not be judgmental. I'd like to offer you 3 actions to embrace the power of collaboration and seek support and guidance from others. The first action is to identify individuals who have expertise and experience in areas you wish to develop and approach them for mentorship. Be bold. Go after what you want. Ask for what you want. Mentors can provide valuable insights and advice, and also encouragement so that you can make more informed decisions and overcome any obstacles you may be experiencing that is getting in the way of you becoming more. Now, action number 2, be open to receiving feedback, is really critical because when you engage with people and agree to collaborate and sign on to have someone as a mentor, you have to be open to constructive feedback. So embrace feedback as an opportunity to continuously grow. Make sure you practice active listening to understand the people who are sharing with you their perspective and insights fully, and show genuine interest. The final action is to offer support to others. If for some reason you have some level of resistance in embracing the power of collaboration and stepping outside of your divine self to go seek help from others, I would encourage you to be support to others. Practice being a mentor to someone else. Collaboration is a two-way street, and you may find the strength and the courage and appreciation for seeking collaboration based on what someone else is receiving from you in your sharing of wisdom. So be willing to offer support and guidance to others when they seek it. Creating a reciprocal relationship where both parties benefit is the best win-win. Reflect, consider, and contemplate, and take some action around this particular area of growing as a self-empowered woman. Now let's jump into step number 4. A self-empowered woman doesn't live life in blame, shame, and guilt. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to read that one more time because this is a big one. A self-empowered woman doesn't live life in blame, shame, and guilt. Rather, this boss lady, she dwells on opportunities, focuses on the present and the future, not on past mistakes or misfortunes. This doesn't mean she doesn't ignore her, that she ignores her past. No, we're not stuffing it under the carpet. But instead, she acknowledges it as part of her journey and uses it to improve. She understands that dwelling on blame, shame, and guilt only hinders her progress and prevents her from fully embracing her potential. Blame, shame, and guilt is a very heavy energy. It's a roadblock. It imparts upon us sadness, confusion, depression, worry. So it's very important that we release this energy because a self-empowered woman is a compassionate woman towards herself. She understands that everyone makes mistakes and experiences difficulties, and she doesn't hold herself to unrealistic standards of perfection. Oh, did you hear that, Divine One? Let go of the perfection. Instead, she practices self-compassion and treats herself with the same kindness and understanding she would offer to a friend in need. In moments where she might have previously felt guilty or ashamed, she reframes her perspective rather than allowing those emotions to consume her. She seeks to understand the lessons behind her experiences, and this lady, she uses them as stepping stones for personal development. Are you stuck in an energy field of blame, shame, and guilt? Are you dwelling on past mistakes or misfortunes? How is doing this impacting your evolution of more? Examine how this energy field of blame, shame, and guilt has prevented you from stepping out boldly and moving forward into the next manifestation of your life. If you aren't living in blame, shame, and guilt, kudos to you. What did you do to let go of it? How did you release it? When you feel challenged, remember, as a self-empowered woman, you can always recall the techniques you used in the past to become free from any toxic behaviors that no longer serve you. Consider the idea of reframing emotions like guilt and shame as opportunities for growth. Can you recall a recent experience where you felt guilty or ashamed? How might you apply the self-empowered woman's approach of seeking lessons and personal growth from that experience, rather than allowing negative emotions to hinder your progress? I'd like for you to also consider the concept of treating yourself with self-compassion and kindness. Are there specific areas in your life where you tend to be harsh or critical towards yourself? How might adopting the self-empowered woman's approach of offering yourself the same kindness you give to a friend help you overcome negative emotions and embrace your potential more fully? Take a few minutes and reflect on these questions. Think about what's coming up for you. Think about where there may be some gaps and blind spots, and also consider what you can do to close those gaps, to remove anything in your life that is interfering with you becoming more as it relates to blame, shame, and guilt. I have a couple of actions that you might want to consider taking to free yourself from blame, shame, and guilt. The first one, recognize that everyone has imperfections and that they do not define your worth. You are enough, you are enough, you are enough. So embrace vulnerability and being open about your struggles, because it forces connection with others and it creates a sense of empathy and understanding. The second thing you might want to consider doing is taking accountability for your actions and decisions without descending into self-criticism or fault-finding. Remember, I spoke earlier about not becoming attached to accountability? Hey, it is what it is. Own it, grow from it, and move on. Understand that blaming others is counterproductive. So instead, be a problem solver, be solution focused, and look for opportunities to collaborate. The last thing I suggest is acknowledge mistakes and learn from them rather than dwell on them indefinitely. Forgive yourself and understand that everyone is entitled to make errors and that they provide opportunities, they provide more clarity, and they also help you to get clear on what you really want for your life. So reflect, do the work, and take action as soon as possible on something that you may have heard that you want to move on as a way to become free and let go of blame, shame, and doubt. Speaking of let go, it's a term you hear me use quite frequently because a self-empowered woman, she always lets go. A self-empowered woman who truly is about the essence of empowerment knows the art of letting go. She understands that holding on to negative emotions, toxic relationships, and past burdens can weigh her down and impede her progress. Instead, she chooses to release what no longer serves her well-being and development. She has the wisdom to distinguish between what she can control and what she cannot. She knows that she cannot change the past or the actions of others. So she doesn't waste her energy dwelling on what's beyond her control. I always say, focus on what's in your control. Focus on the present moment and the choices that you can make to create a positive future. When faced with challenges or disappointments, she refrains from holding grudges or seeking revenge. That is not our job. It is not our job to be revengeful. Instead, what a self-empowered woman does is forgive those who have wronged her, not for their sake, but for her own peace of mind, for her own well-being, for her own healing journey. Forgiveness doesn't mean she forgets now, but it frees her from the emotional burden that can hinder her growth, development, and healing. How does this feel to you? How do you measure up when it comes to letting go? Do you hold on to stuff? Do you hold grudges? Are you looking for revenge? And are you ready to let that go? If you are in the practice of not letting go, I imagine it's not serving your well-being. So I have a couple of things I want you to consider and some questions to answer in reflecting on the self-empowered woman's approach to letting go of negative emotions and toxic relationships. Are there aspects in your life that you recognize may no longer serve your well-being? Are they impeding your growth? And how might embracing the art of letting go contribute to your own personal progress? The self-empowered woman distinguishes between what she can control and what she cannot. Are you expanding energy on something beyond your control, Divine One? And can you see the benefit of adopting a mindset of focusing on the present moment and positive choices? So shifting your perspective from outside influences that you don't have control over to focusing on what you can control with a positive, healthy perspective. I also want you to consider the idea of forgiveness. This is important for your freedom. Consider the concept of what it means of freeing yourself from emotional burdens. Are there instances where holding on to grudges and resentment are affecting you, your happiness, your joy, your peace? How might you as a self-empowered woman practice forgiveness? Not for others, but again, for your own peace of mind, enabling you to move forward and grow. We're going to discuss more of this idea of letting go in detail in the next module, next week. So stay tuned. There's more to learn about this. But in the meantime, here are a couple of actions I encourage you to take. Practice acceptance, Divine One. Accept that there are things just beyond your control. The past and other people's actions, you can't control anyone, and you can't control how life unfolds. So acknowledge that holding on to these factors only prolongs your emotional burden. Embrace the idea that letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It simply means releasing the emotional attachment and moving forward. I encourage you to create physical symbols. Sometimes physically letting go can be symbolic and therapeutic. Here's what you can do around this. Write down your negative emotions, regrets, or burdens on pieces of paper, and then burn or tear them as a symbolic act of release. This can help reinforce your intention to let go. And then lastly, Divine One, set boundaries. Evaluate your relationships and determine which ones are unhealthy or toxic. By establishing clear boundaries with individuals, you consistently contribute to decreasing negativity in your life. Now, this may involve you limiting contact, or in extreme cases, you got to cut those ties to create a space for positive influence in your life. Wow. We just completed the 5 transformative steps to becoming a more self-empowered woman. How do you feel? What is rising up for you now? Are you feeling excited? Do you feel some grief? Do you feel joy? Do you feel anxious to start putting these practices into practice? Wherever you are, it is okay. Accept yourself. Be radically accepting for right where you are right now, and be appreciative of the emotion you have. Sad, happy, mad, glad, be with it. And then in your devotional time and in your meditation, your contemplation time, seek to understand which of these you need to give your immediate attention to. Where do you require the most attention? Also celebrate what you are doing well. I bet you are doing some of these extremely well. And I want you to shout it out, pat yourself on the back. Go, girl, I celebrate you. So celebrate your successes, but also be reflective about where you need to grow and then move on it. Take action, because we cannot waste time. You cannot waste time. There is more of you to evolve. And at the same time, I feel compelled to tell you, be patient with yourself. This is a journey. You're learning many different concepts, and you have to decide which one is for you right now. So be patient with yourself, show yourself compassion, and know that if you continue to put these practices into place and make them a part of your daily life, you will soon notice that you are just being natural in them, and it is becoming a part of your life. All right, beautiful divine one. Great job again. We have completed week 2, and I will see you during week 3.